privilege.
I am so sorry, Skirk. A fat-fingered. But I do like your black dress, so this works well for me. Sweet.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Huh?
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
What? Sir? I'm confused and
Still
alarmed.
acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him.
I'm a bit scared about what I'm about to discover about his constitution.
Hello.
Hi, we're back.
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Totally.
Yep, that's us.
I'm sorry, I know it's a bit late, but there's a couple of things we'd like to look at.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains.
I'm kind of surprised you've left them there that long. Because the body's going to start smelling pretty damn quickly.
If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so.
Did you find anything new?
Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery.
Agreed.
And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him. But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
Never mind that she was the one trying to waylay them. Expert use of delaying tactics on her part. Excellent work.
We'll do our part too. All right, we're going in. See you later.
Bye, Valoni. No, Zavoni. Sorry, wrong letters. It was close enough, right? We got the Oni part right. Not that I was calling you a demon, ma'am.
Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But we still know nothing about how Flint's is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter?
There's a strange light by the window.
Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly?
Is he invisible? Has he put himself inside the lantern?
Well, we've got the lantern. What now?
Is he inside it? It's awfully blue and bright.
Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
Now that's what I call going incognito, except it was totally conspicuous. A freaking brightly glowing lantern just floating in midair in the middle of a back alley. Like, it's not exactly subtle.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark.
Oh, honey, it was glowing. It was really glowing.
I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal.
Okay.
As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
So, can you explain what just happened? Did you, like, turn yourself into a ball of light inside your lantern? I'm a little confused about the particulars.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
What you just accomplished, surely that can't be accomplished through elemental power alone. No, because nobody else can bloody do it.
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own.
You've already forgotten, Flens. Constitution. Mary Sue over here. I can do shit no one else can imagine or even begin to attempt. So no, I'm not really gonna blink at something that's a little different from the average person. But can you explain your trick?
But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited after all.
Your definition and my definition of trivial differ significantly.
Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself.
Abyssal or Kavaki? I'm assuming abyssal. It's very faint, but there is some residual power near the wound that feels identical to the abyssal energy that served from Flynn's lantern.
Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the wild hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
Yeah, I still don't have a why there, sir. And I might also point out that we're still not getting any evidence that we could credibly use with the other Lightkeepers. Just because we are getting this sort of information from the body and making conclusions about Rarea, none of it's actual factual proof that we can use to prove your innocence.
Chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
I mean, that was my thought, because it's like the most overarching, motive, but it just seems so obvious.
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Nashatown.
Yeah, Neff already said as much.
He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned.
I said that the crime scene investigation is already complete. There should no longer be a need to keep this place as is.
Well,
This is true.
that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace.
However, despite a very thorough search, few new clues emerge. I like how respectful he was,
When
though.
we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
I would argue that all the sinners would have to be masterminds and intelligent for their situations.
Oh, if we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Oh, this is so frustrating.
Is that all? Have we really tried every angle, found every clue? No, we have not. Paimon, look at the flashing light on his arm. What flashing light?
You mean
Oh, that. I never even saw that.
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
Don't look at me. Flashing lights don't always mean negative things.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon.
Is it the flash once and then flash twice?
It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that,
When we were fixing the cannon, his arm was working just fine.
yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon.
It's a signal. We need to rip off his arm and take it to Aino or Nefer and find out what's hidden inside it.
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
Kinda would explain why he gave edgy vibes and why he was completely useless right up until the end.
That's right. If only there was some way to prove it.
If something needed maintenance, you'd go register it with Nasha Town's repairman.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short
Yeah.
talk with him once at the tavern,
Pizza.
but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Nah, why wait on ceremony?
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves.
Knock, knock, knock. Sorry, son. Sorry to wake up your father, but we're here to chat.
Yes. And one more thing.
What?
Remember to pick me up by the window.
Okay. Who's pulling you out the window? I haven't... You leave the room without any trouble and start heading towards Hince's residence. Okay. Moonshift... Yeah, I know. I'm not quite sure why you felt the need to remind me. But I'll remind you. I don't have any Nogcry characters in my party. Think I can make a wish yet? Every lantern casts its shadow. Isn't it beautiful? I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh, for God's sake, I still can't get enough. Even with doing all of this.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
I mean, I'm surprised you bothered to dress. I would have answered the door in my pajamas and be like, bitch, you know what hour it is? What the fuck you want?
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true?
How have you heard rumors? Who gave it away?
You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated.
It is very
no further
complicated.
questions from me.
Thanks.
Just a moment. I need to check my records.
He's an outstanding man.
Thank you
I
for
like
your
you, Ginza.
understanding.
Although, I kind of feel like that's something you'd remember. Whether someone's mechanical arm needs repair or not.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward, and I understood. Completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other.
So how has he been incapacitated for 3 days, but not dead? And what did Rera stand to gain by posing as Cersei when we went to... Hold up. Can we please inspect the... I know, can you inspect the cannon, please? I feel like something's going to go horrifically wrong because he touched the final part of the grounding component, and I have a feeling that other than your first shot, which was probably deliberately staged so that it would function at that point in time so they'd think it works, and then they're going to be really surprised when that shit's not stable the next time they shoot it and it's going to fly around and it's going to hurt people and then it's just not going to function. Can we please get that checked? It's really bad.
What's with those faces? Everything all right?
Because I can assume that's the only reason he assumed the position of Cersei in that moment. He was eager to get the cannon fixed because he could tamper with it.
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Ginza. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
He speaks so well. I love it.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Well, I kind of mean a man's like him. Well, not like Flynn specifically, but the way he speaks, it's very eloquent.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good evening.
Hope the investigation
I'm
goes
sorry
well.
for waking you up and hope I didn't wake up your child as well. He's a family man after all.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm was actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
That means that the only thing he did as Cersei was fire the cannon.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the wild hunt, and it works as intended.
Only on the first shot. There's easily a way you can fix that. But he wasn't just there for the firing of the cannon. He got the final part. Y'all are slow.
But how would that help Rerir exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And
Fuck off with
sleepy
yawning.
too.
We've been on edge for too long, it seems. So what, we have to nap, and then the cannon's gonna fire, but then it's gonna misfire, and then shit's gonna hit the fan, I guess.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate.
One would think that proving your innocence is a little more of a priority than sleep right now. Where are you even gonna sleep? You're being hunted down by your own kind, so to speak.
We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
That is true, though.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
Want to rest a day in Nata Town? Your residence is quite far away.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate.
I have a single bed apartment at the flagship, and we know of a side entrance to there. You're welcome to join us for. In fact, my room's super large, and I'm pretty sure there was a lounge in it, so you got plenty space to sleep in.
My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Or if you're feeling like giving out favors, Nefa could house you.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
I'll be getting him a second room. Okay, fair. At least he gets a bed that way.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon. In and out.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here. Ah, the nostalgia.
He's getting nostalgic about something that was fairly recent.
Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time?
Oh my god, Flynn has to be one of my favorite characters in this game. He's amazing. Yes, which is why I asked you to give it to me.
I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Well, actually, on the flip side, as the game likes to say at me, I could have tempered the abyssal energy then, and you wouldn't have to go through such weakening process. You know?
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
Arius seems fixated on you, and you on him. Ooh la la.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a light keeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
And I would be inclined to agree with you, but come on, don't play games with me.
Yeah, you're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at.
Huh?
You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
And Paimon could shake a skewer rat. I'm sorry. Is that an actual phrase? like really? Phrase. Shake a skewer rat. We have so many typos here. I hate typing on my phone. Phrase shake a... No, that's absolutely not what I wanted to say. Skewer at... No, stick. Shake a stick at something. More X than you can shake a stick at is a phrase. Not skewers. I'm not quite sure why she changed it. Like, a stick is pretty bloody universal, I'd like to think. Why skewer? To make it a food reference?
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty.
Please.
Whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust.
I don't care the motives. I just want it.
Your deductions have been quite correct.
Yay me.
Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough.
Yes.
You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits.
Yes.
But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of non-humans.
Okay, I mean, your eyes would suggest some undead tendencies, but the language you were using would suggest Fae. I'm assuming that was Finn's talking. At least it sounded like it was visually him talking at the end, but it could have been Rarea. I don't really know.
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae?
Nope. I can honestly say I had not. Wait, since when did the Russians have Fae traditions? I didn't think they had any Fae folklore, because the game is for the most part pretty traditional with its folklore. Russian Fae folklore. Let's see what we pull up with that. I mean, they have fairies, but... Oh, of course, Russian is Slavic, so they're going to be the same as Poland. Okay, that's because it's giving me like Leshies and Baba Yaga and Domovoys and Rusalka. So yeah, that's quite Polish because it's just Slavic. Fair, but Slavic still don't really have Fae. They have, fairy entities. Depends on his definition of Fae. Depends on how the game refers to Fae, if they're not just using the term for fairy.
This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
Okay, I like to pay attention, but I'm still back on the use of Fae. When Fae is spoken, I guess I associate Fae with the she? Is that how it's pronounced? The Sidhe. The Tuatha Danann, or however they're pronounced. God, that's going back like a decade since I've seen that phrase. Like the Celtic, Gaelic usage of Fae. With the Seelie courts. Seelie probably actually was the better word for me to have used. The different courts of the Fae, the summer and the spring, etc., which is more fantastical than traditionally folklore historical, but still. And that all seems to be more Celtic and Gaelic in origin. So when someone says Fae, that's typically more where my mind goes, but that's kind of just because it's the context I have been exposed to my whole life has been of that kind. So I think I just need to broaden how my mind considers the term Fae to consider fairy of all kinds in Europe. That might be just a narrow-sightedness on my part due to my upbringing? ? Anyway, that conundrum aside, Flint, I apologise. This race is no longer of any importance. I mean, I would disagree. The Fae are always important. But this still exists as evidenced by the fact I'm standing before you. Okay, next question then. Are you full Fae, you half Fae, you quarter Fae? Can I get the percentile of Fae inside your body, please?
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss.
Aw, that's sad.
I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands.
Oh shit, he killed himself? Okay, wow. That escalated quickly. Okay, so I'm now hearing that he's full Fae. I'm not quite sure how that differs from humans because he looks like a human, so I have questions on that front. So he killed himself and then?
When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
Would it not be better, then, to simply sink?
I would agree, yes.
But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki.
Interesting. I'm still curious about the human form, though.
They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
I like the way he tells stories. I would like to listen to him tell stories for all eternity. It's beautiful.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while.
So, presupposing you're a fae from, like, Snezhnaya history, since they're supposed to have been extinct, what's your current lifespan look like? Since you kind of died but kind of didn't, are you still immortal for all intents and purposes? Are you immortal but can die to a fatal blow? Are you aging? How long have you been Lightkeeper for? Dude, I have so many questions.
But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether.
Are you stronger than a human being? How'd you get a vision? Can Fae get visions? God, I did so many questions.
The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the Final Night Cemetery.
He was there for its founding? What? And that's why you chose to become a Lightkeeper. How old have you been since you died, quotation marks?
Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them. So joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
A lot of time kind of passed because then wouldn't people get suspicious about his inability to age?
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done, nonetheless. There are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Cannon.
Will you need us to get you where you need to be?
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
A backup copy of what? Huh? I think I just lost the thread of the conversation.
You even go back there
Well,
right
that
now?
too.
Won't there be Rat Nikki watching it?
Yeah.
Thanks
100%.
for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed. All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout.
And there doesn't seem to be a governing body in Nash Town, which I still find kind of weird.
And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own house, after all.
I like the way he says that.
All right then. We'll trust you.
Okay. Darn
Sure ended
yawn.
up chatting for a while, huh? I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier. Now that we know you better.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a fae.
But I want to know more about the Fae. What abilities do you have? What's your Fae form? Dude, you've completely left me in the dark about the important shit. Don't worry, I won't say a thing.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
All right.
She's still the first person she sees.
Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
What about the eyes, though? Your eyes looking constantly, like, dead and lack of sleepy. Do you have a reason for that? And your lack of pupils?
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
The Ashen White Order burns. Okay. My room's nicer than yours. Yours is probably a lot cheaper, though.
It's getting late. The situation is urgent, but rest is vital.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Good night, both of you.
Night. Question. Am I going to get locked into a super long cutscene if I progress? Hey, I have Flynn's. Flynn's is going to have lines, right? Flynn's, my dude. Where are you? What? Flynn's. Although I don't have a relationship with him, so he's going to have like 2 lines available to me. You know, I'm just scaring really quickly, and I feel like I've overshot the mark already. There he is. Yo, voice lines. I don't do this. I don't even know how to get there. You. He's cultured and courtly. You're correct. Story. Yep, I have so much information on him. I don't think any of this is going to be relevant. Just calls him a warrior of the light keepers. I guess you gotta know him a little more to get his information. Okay. Okay, people are aware that he has some sort of great sorrow, which comes through when he tells tales. Convincing people that his melancholy deserves time and space. That's beautiful. That's good for him. And people don't pick at his wound. That's great. Okay, well, that tells us absolutely nothing. I kind of expected that, to be honest, because usually you need to relationship stuff for that. What have you got here? Oh, his really long name. Question, is that your Fae name? Although I suppose it could be because it would be in Snezhnaya. In the past, I was customarily addressed as that. Interesting. Wild hunt goes when it rains, when thunder strikes. Is he going to get poetic?
That, my friend, is the world's original symphony. No instrument could ever replicate the sheer power and grandeur of thunder.
Well, now I feel like listening to all his lines.
Given that we are close acquaintances by this point, would you mind if I shared a minor grievance with you? The truth is that, given my unique situation, foods greatly relished by other people, I personally find to be rather dull. But to be clear, I still immensely enjoy the time we spend together at the dinner table.
He's still finding something beautiful in the moment. Okay, so you're used to better flavored food, I suppose.
Have you ever seen water boiling under an open flame? No. What a pity.
Under?
There's a kind of liquor in Snezhnaya called firewater. And when you light it, the flame burns on the surface of the liquid.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Goes down quite smoothly, too. It'll warm you up from the very depths of your soul. Maybe I'll get to treat you to a firewater one day.
I don't drink alcohol, but thanks.
A colleague of mine in Pyramida City often writes to me,
dumb name,
expressing his concern for my well-being. He's a kind old man, and I know he means well, but it's perfectly cozy where I live already. And I am in no need of home improvement suggestions.
Oh, I disagree.
And I certainly don't need him to get me a cat or a dog. I am but a humble ratnik. You already know my name.
There.
You've seen where I'm a lost civilization deep underground in Inazuma. And these shades of Tokoyo, they are the last vestiges of its erstwhile inhabitants.
Okay.
How intriguing.
Interesting. Wait, hold on. What's this? Oh, that's just his saying was when he does stuff. Okay, well, interesting. We just learnt a little bit of lore about Flins. I am scared that if I go in here, it will start a cutscene and I'm going to get off for the evening. So I'm just going to leave it there.